Okay, welcome back. Quick changeover. So what we're doing now is a presentation from Josh Hegarty from Expo-E, and we're going to be looking at critical applications are only as good as your network. So without further ado, Josh, take it away.
Thank you, Jonathan. So yes, I'm Josh Hegarty. I'm account manager here at Exponential-E, and also helping me today with my presentation will be Tom Nicholls, who's a senior solution consultant over here. So yeah, welcome to our presentation. I hope everyone's enjoying their day. It's a shame not to be there in the flesh, but Britannic have been doing an excellent virtual event, and I hope we can continue that here. So to keep me in check and in time, there's a light agenda. So as some of you may be aware, Exponential-E work closely, or have been working very closely with Britannic as a connectivity partner for many years. What we'll do through this presentation is a quick introduction into Exponential-E for those who may not have heard of us, and then dive a bit deeper into ours and Britannic Technology Services, particularly into the connectivity world. Tom will then take over and he will go deeper into some of the emerging technologies such as SD-WAN, and finally it'll be passed back across to myself to speak about the service delivery and support which underpin all the services. So on my first slide here, Exponential-E, we were established in 2002. And provisioning and delivering fiber lines and wide area networks has been at our core for all these years. Since then, we've grown and established as a company. We have southern and northern offices, and a lot of key additions and personnel additions into support and delivery. These are the main areas to enhance the customer satisfaction. As you can see on the screen as well, we've 8 ISO accreditations, as well as our Net Promoter Score of 67, and I'll drill into these a bit deeper later. So moving on to a bit more of our product portfolio. So over the years, we've added and invested into a more wider portfolio. We have a flavour of services and products. We can assist on conversations with alongside Britannic Technologies. As you can see, these include our data centre capabilities, co-location, and security services, firewalling, audits. But the majority of the work we've done alongside Britannic comes in the connectivity field, and that's what the basis of our discussion will be on today. So a good place to start, well for me, for sure, would be what would define the perfect network. And we do recognise this is different for everyone and every different customer. So, I mean, on my list here, I've got simplicity, flexibility, efficiency. It could be like low latency that you're looking for. And there's going to be lots of different variables that are on or off this list, and all to be provided at the right price. And we understand this as a partnership with Britannic. So the following slides will show what makes our network to fit into these categories. So one of our key investments is into our points of presence and into our exchanges. So on the screen here, you can see our London network. This is the second. We have the second largest London network in the UK. Now, we have so many points of presence because they allow us to become closer to you as the customer. So fiber is very much priced on distance. So expanding our reach really allows us closer to your site, and therefore cheaper, which is always good for everyone, right? If I go on to the next slide, so this is our national reach. And we have around 230 points of presence or exchanges rolled out across into the UK, which really makes it one of the largest business grade networks within the UK. expanding it also globally into many European cities such as Amsterdam, Frankfurt, Paris, the west coast of the US, and very much, which Tom might touch upon as well, is we're looking into the likes of Asia to expand our software-defined network. The benefit of this, obviously, is that we can bring your wider area network securely together, closer together, and very much each of your sites can act as if they are on your local area network, even if you say you do have an office over 3,000 miles away in the US. Alongside this, we've incorporated 35 data centers now into our network, 3 of which are our own. And this is very much enhances and incorporates your cloud capabilities. It brings us closer to some of your critical applications that you host in these data centers. And once again, very much commercially driven for you as the customer. Moving on, this slide is one of my favorites. So I think it very much depicts management, design, and commercial implication for you as the customer. So if you go out onto the street, you might not see an Expo or a Britannic manhole pothole, but that is because we create these extensive and forge these relationships with the likes of BT Openreach, Colt, Virgin that you can see on the PowerPoint here. We also there's Sky that we've brought in recently, City Fibre. So we're always expanding this list. Essentially, what these suppliers do is they'll provide that last mile from our core network into your building. By having a multitude of partners here, we can once again have wider coverage. We can choose the best commercials for you depending on who we use. We can avoid a particular provider, but most importantly, I think it allows us to create a nice, robust and resilient network into your sites with supplier resilience. Also, what Exponential-E and Britannic will do together is we'll provision these lines and really avoid you having to deal with these companies directly, which we get a lot of good feedback on. So another benefit, so connectivity is a commoditized market. There is a very competitive market. So we have to find other ways to stand out. And I think a main way we have shown this is really by embracing the cloud, which is very prominent nowadays, whether that's private, public, or hybrid. So what I've got up on the screen here is what Exponential-E did as a company was a non-intrusive study onto our customers and where they were going, what sites they were going to, what clouds they were visiting. And what we really found was that 70% of the traffic was all going to the same players or to the same areas, whether that the likes of BT, the likes of BBC, Facebook on there, if you want to like that or not, but that was one of the main sites. So what we did as a company is that we invested heavily into creating interconnects into these clouds. And what that allows for you as the customer is that one hop of traffic from your site to the other side, to the final area. It also bypasses the internet. So say 70% of your traffic is now not traversing the internet. It makes that whole link and travel destination of your traffic a lot safer. Continuing on from that, our cloud connect exchanges. So this is something that we're deploying a lot recently with Britannic. Is everyone now is embracing the public cloud, Amazon or Azure. And what we can do is we build, once again, large links into these public clouds, and we'll do a cloud connect exchange into these public clouds, and once again put your traffic through into these sites securely, bypassing the internet. So I believe that is a nice introduction into Exponential-E and our network. And I'm going to pass over to Tom now, who's going to dive a bit deeper into SD-WAN.
Yes, good afternoon, guys. So I'm here to talk about software-defined networks. I'm going to start by just talking around what networks usually are, in the typical sense. We've all been talking MPLS, VPLS for years and years at this point. And I think actually coronavirus has actually accelerated the adoption of SD-WAN. For most things, it's actually ended up slowing them down. But for networking technologies, I think we've actually ended up accelerating it. So MPLS networks were your standard layer 3 network versus your VPLS, which is the predominantly exponentially network where we run layer 2. And the reason we ran layer 2 was just to give you a little bit more control, just to give us a little bit easier on the routing. If you want to go next slide, Josh. So SD-WAN, what is it from this perspective? SD-WAN will have essentially what it does is combine routers and firewalls again. So they went off and became separate devices, but now they've come back to being one device. And Gartner printed this horrifically jargon sentence about SD-WAN. But what it essentially shows is all of this technology already exists. All we've done is put it all in one box, and that's what SD-WAN is. Yeah, we've got things from there from the late 80s, 2010, before 92. All of these concepts already existed. We've just combined them all together to make SD-WAN. Next slide, Josh. So how does it work? SD-WAN has essentially two flavors. So we have a device-based SD-WAN and a network-based SD-WAN. So from this perspective, we have a couple of players. So device-based SD-WAN, these are your Cisco Meraki's, your Fortinet, and Cisco Viptela from a certain perspective. And what happens from them is they run over the top of your existing network. So let's say you've got an internet service and then you have Cisco Meraki on the end of it. That will create another network on top of the network you already have. Versus what we tend to lead with is the network-based SD-WAN. So this is a full SD-WAN end-to-end experience. So what happens is the box on-site talks to the actual network itself. So it fully integrates. It talks the same language. So we're able to offer the SD-WAN all the way through on the network. And we lead that with our Nuage Networks partner. So you can see them in the bottom left there. And Nuage Networks have been purchased by Nokia, who are actually our underlying carrier for our whole network. So all of it fits together. Next slide, Josh. This is the view from our SD-WAN portal. So we've just relaunched it because we've got a brand new shiny portal. This is the main dashboard from this perspective. At a glance, you can see which one of your sites are up, which one of your sites are experiencing issues. You've got visible applications, so the pie chart in front of you, as well as in the bottom left-hand corner, you can see what applications are being used. Just a quick example of why we put this there is one of our first clients that went onto it, they immediately saw they had a whole lot of torrenting traffic going across their network that they didn't know about until they put SD-WAN in place. So we were able to completely remove that torrenting network, which they didn't even know was happening on their previous network. And it gives you complete stats of, say, all of your bandwidth utilization as well. And you can drill down further into that. I won't go into this presentation. Unfortunately, I don't have the time, but very easy to use, very, very easy to see. Okay, next. I think I'm handing back to Josh now. So thank you very much for your time, guys.
Yes, thank you, Tom. So back to myself, obviously with all the areas that we've discussed, these are all underpinned by the service delivery and the support of these, which are conducted by ourselves and Britannic Technologies. One thing that I did touch upon earlier was that we very much take pride in our ISO accreditations. These take a lot of time, energy and effort to receive this. And I personally think it's a very important message to the market because, it shows that we have the process and the quality of services that we offer. Once again, this is all underpinned by our 24/7 365 service desk, which all the services that we do offer come with proactive monitoring. So earlier, I'm not sure if you saw on the slides, there's around 670 staff at Exponential-E. I'd say around 40% of that staff, if not more, are dedicated to engineering, support, service delivery, and ensuring that we keep our net promoter score and our customer satisfaction happy. I will touch upon the net promoter score. This is live on our website. I think the industry average might be around 15 at the moment, but this is something we very regularly like to update, and we like to shout about, because this is a score that measures our support levels and our delivery levels. So we want to shout about that, and we want to show that we really support the service that we do offer. So finally, I think it's always good to show some of the customers that we work with. No customer is ever too big or too small, and we will give the same service and support to any customer. But it's always nice to see some of the people on there. So I think that is it for our presentation, Jonathan. And if there are any questions, we'd more than welcome them.
Okay, thank you. Well done both. So just looking in the chat window, if anyone's got any questions, please do feel free to add, and we can take them accordingly. Whilst waiting for that, one of the aspects that we heard about yesterday was 4G and 5G networks, and I was reading about the massive increases in speed that are going to be available this morning. I don't know, about 2 o'clock this morning, when I clearly should be sleeping. That will be available from 5G. I wondered if you got some thoughts about the changes around 5G, how it's going to impact on traditional networks, how they're delivered, how you could manage it through aspects such as SD-WAN, and
absolutely,
what the options are.
Yeah, 100%. So being an engineer myself, I've actually done some tests myself. So I live around the Canary Wharf sort of area, which is actually where they did the 5G testing. So I did some, say, 4G tests. I'm getting up to about 40 meg down. I did some 5G tests. I'm getting up to 170 meg down. So clearly this is, it's a major game changer if you're able to jump from that sort of speeds. And the latency as well is so far down compared to 4G. So in terms of 5G, a backup connection on 5G is almost a no-brainer from this point. It's going to end up being completely commodity as soon as the mobile plans come in and the coverage gets a little bit better. What I have found with 5G is not very good inside. Sitting here at my desk, I'll get 2 meg down, but by my window, I'll go back up to 80 meg. So yeah, there is a massive change. It's a higher frequency, which is all to be expected. But it's coming, and it's coming in a major way. So it's going to be a big game changer.
And do you see that it's that there's going to be hybrid networks of 4G, high G, and fixed connections?
Yeah, 100%. I mean, there already kind of is. So for the retail space, I tend to lead with, say, an ADSL connection with a 4G backup at the money. Just to give you, you've got to be online to process those transactions. So you've got to be able to get it through somehow. And if your ADSL's down, then you're not selling and you're not making money. So you've got to have some sort of, say, 4G backup at the moment. So yeah, 100%, Jonathan, 100%.
Yeah. So it's good from a BCP perspective, but potentially some of the things to consider around where you're locating this and how you're maximizing the bandwidth that's available.
Yeah, absolutely. So ADSL, I've said ADSL just to out of habit for things, but I'm looking at FTDC, FTDP, and now I'm going to have to be looking at what's available: 3G, 4G, 5G. It's always going to be a challenge from that perspective. It's just physics, unfortunately.
And how does that change the delivery timescales with 4G and 5G? What was it?
It's rapid now. It's I say so quick. We can get a SIM done in less than a week, and a router out to you because we keep them in stock. So you place the order, we can get it to you within a couple of days from that perspective. So for things like pop-up shops in retail, we see you're able to go live this week. Which,
and also things like construction. No, things like construction sites as well, and housing associations, care homes. I guess even temporary sporting events, right? I guess it's going to change the way in which we will connect moving forward.
Yeah, absolutely. No, I say it's a big game changer, and be able to jump from, say, my tests, and that was literally on a mobile phone. That's not even on a powerful router. 40 meg up to 170 meg. Yeah, it's massive. It's a real game changer.
Okay, brilliant. So, well, I've certainly pummeled you with a few questions there. I haven't seen any others come in the chat, so unless we have any others, yeah, really great, really insightful. There's definitely change coming. It's important, I think, to the value working together to provide those aggregated networks, choice, good value for money, and of course, as we're seeing moving forward, flexibility around different technologies as well.